Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Atale Toka, and today I would like to talk about something that had me pretty excited for the better part of over a week, actually, and that is Soulcalibur VI. That's right. A new installment in the Soulcalibur series was now announced on the 7th at the Game Awards, and it's got me pretty excited because Soulcalibur II on the Nintendo GameCube was the first fighting game I ever loved. It was the game that got me into fighting games when I was younger. I grew up with the game and its characters like Nightmare, Cassandra, Raphael, Astaroth, Ivy, Voldo, Mitsurugi, Cervantes, Sophitia, and all those other characters. And then there was Soulcalibur III, which introduced Zatsalmel, Setsuka, and Tira. And then Soulcalibur 4 and 5 came, and those were a whole other story. Soulcalibur 2 is as well. I don't think I need to say too much about it, but it's a really good fighting game package. It was originally released in arcades back in 2002, and then released for home consoles on the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. And each console version had a different guest character. Like the GameCube had Link from Legend of Zelda, the PS2 had Heihachi from Tekken, and the Xbox had Spawn. And then Soulcalibur 3 was only on PS2, so they didn't do guest characters for that one. But when Soulcalibur 4 came out on PS3 and Xbox 360, they had the Star Wars character. They had Darth Vader on PS3 and Yoda on the 360. And then Soulcalibur 5 came out, and its guest character was a pretty forgettable Assassin's Creed character. I think it was a current character at the time, Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed 2. Well, Soulcalibur's had kind of a rough history as of late. And Soulcalibur 2 was a pretty big seller, and then Soulcalibur 3, best fighting game package I ever had the pleasure of experiencing, with stuff like Tales of Souls, Soul Arena, Chronicles of the Sword, and character creation. And then Soulcalibur 4 and 5 came out, and Soulcalibur 4 was a much smaller package. It had a bigger roster, but it didn't really have as much in terms of game modes and content. And Soulcalibur 5 is kind of a black sheep. But the 17 years later time skip theme, with a lot of the classic characters gone and replaced with successors that didn't leave quite as big an impact. And a lot of people just preferred the classic characters, and so the series was gone for a little while, like half a decade. But now, a new Soulcalibur game is in development for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. We don't know yet what kind of guest characters there will be, if any show up at all. I'm not really sure who could show up. I have no idea, but we do know of 2 veteran characters who are going to be in the game so far, and those are Mitsurugi and Sophitia. And the game is actually going back to the time of the first Soulcalibur game. Like they're starting from scratch, and kind of retconning in the events of Soulcalibur 4 and 5. Which is kind of a good decision if you ask me, because a lot of people didn't like how Soulcalibur 5 handled its story and roster, and really, who could blame them? And the story was kind of a joke, he'll get glorified, right? A few characters at the expense of everyone else, and the other characters were reduced to either jobber roles or didn't show up in the story at all. They were just kind of there in the roster. So you can see why a lot of people wouldn't like that. And I kind of think that Soulcalibur VI will end up being something kind of like the Mortal Kombat game from 2011, where one of the characters has like visions of the future and tries to change it for the better. It's kind of an interesting idea, and I would really like to see how they implement it. And the back to basics theme is a nice approach, and they seem to be doing these kind of parry-like things with the swords clashing, and it looks really cool. And another thing I have to say is this game looks absolutely gorgeous, both in screenshots and in motion. And I mean, seriously, you take one look at it, and try to tell me that it's not the prettiest fighting game you've ever seen. But then again, I can't really be too surprised because I remember Soulcalibur 4 and 5. They were like the best looking 3D fighting games on the PS3, in my opinion. And no matter what direction they take this in, I'm really excited for Soulcalibur 6. It means a heck of a lot to me, because Soulcalibur is one of my favorite game series. It is my favorite fighting game series ever. It was the first fighting game I ever loved. And I cannot wait to see how this game turns out. And I am so excited for it. And they're even teasing like a new character who wields a twin blade. According to leaks, this character her fights kind of like Darth Maul from Star Wars Episode 1. And if you're familiar with that, like having two different swords that he can wield either separately as two different weapons or together as a single weapon. And it's just a really cool concept to me. And that's just about all the information that we've got on the game for now. As soon as more information comes out, I will definitely report on it as quickly as I can. So until next time, I'm Atalia Toka, and I will see you all later.